um, the relief projector has been brought in, etc. And it's given us some time to fill in the rest of the seats. All right. Welcome. I'm Jonathan Solomon. I'm the Associate Dean of the School of Architecture. I'm facing you a little bit jet-lagged because I've returned just this weekend from Shanghai. My visit to Shanghai coincided, as it happens, with some of the worst air pollution on record in that city and in the capital of China, in Beijing. Over my visit, the level of PM 2.5, which you may have read about in the news, one of the worst airborne pollutants, remained above 200 micrograms per cubic meter, or the level described as highly dangerous by the World Health Organization. People of all ages were advised to stay indoors and limit travel. In Beijing, official levels reached 526 micrograms per cubic meter, more than 20 times higher than WHO safety limits. And during that same period, an unofficial reading off a monitor in the US Embassy in Beijing recorded levels of over 800 micrograms per cubic meter. Rapid urbanization in China has, for years, been described in quantities. And these quantities are staggering. The McKinsey Global Institute summarizes them nicely. In 20 years, China's cities will have added 350 million people, more than the entire population of the United States today. By 2025, China will have 221 cities with 1 million plus inhabitants, compared with 35 cities of this size in Europe today, and 23 cities with more than 5 million each. Previously less common, but now urgent, are rigorous inquiries into the quality of this urbanization, the kind of life that is being defined for a sixth of the world's population, and the effects that the process of city building in China will ultimately have worldwide. It is in this context that I have the great pleasure of introducing Professor Ding Wowo, tonight's speaker, Dean of the School of Architecture at Nanjing University. Through research, practice, and education, Dean Ding has been at the forefront for conceiving and implementing new solutions at the scale demanded by the transforming Chinese landscape. Ding is also one of a new generation of Chinese architects seeking to uncover, from a quarter century of rapid urbanization, new approaches to design that are not only environmentally but socially sustainable. Presenting design as a dialogue between the old and the new, she seeks to heal rifts in culture and society wrought by the modern landscape of the Chinese city. Dean Ding has had a long affiliation with the Wholesome Awards for Sustainable Construction, one of the world's most prestigious awards in innovative, future-oriented, and tangible construction projects to promote sustainable responses to the technological, environmental, socioeconomic, and cultural issues affecting building and construction on a local, regional, and global level. Ding has served as head of the awards jury for the Asia-Pacific region in 2011 and jury member in 2008. She's a member of the steering committee for teaching of architectural studies in institutions of higher education of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Rural Development of the People's Republic of China, a council member of the Urban Planning Society of China, and executive director of the Jiangsu Civil Engineering and Architectural Society. Ding received a bachelor and master degrees from the Department of Architecture at Southeast University in China, a diploma and doctorate from the ETH in Zurich, and she taught at the ETH from 1994 to 1996, becoming a professor in architecture at Southeast University in 1996. In 2000, she became vice director of the Institute of Architectural Studies and professor in architectural design at the Institute of Architectural Studies at Nanjing University. And in 2006, she was named Dean of the School of Architecture. Ding has been involved in numerous research projects into the environment of Chinese cities with funding from the National Natural Science Foundation of China, the Natural Science Foundation of Jiangsu Province, the Arts and Humanities Research Council of the UK, the Nanjing Urban Planning Bureau, and the Swiss National Science Foundation. Ding is the winner of numerous awards at the regional and national level in China, and her books and journal articles on urban analysis and design have been published worldwide. Please join me in welcoming Dean Ding Wowo. You should be fully outfitted. All right.
What for? How do you do this?
This one should move forward and backward. And then the pointer is this button.
Thank you, Jonathan. And good evening, everybody. And thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the professor, Professor, I forget the name, Randall. Because of this confusion, I almost forget everything. And I hopefully don't forget my my talk. And again. And thank you everybody for coming for this lecture. And I also would like to thank Professor Johnson. Professor Johnson, he's just disappearing. I'm after Jonathan have said so much words, I don't know how to speak out. I never thought I did such things, and I do think I'm only a teacher and a professor or teaching in the university. As a teacher, I has to do something in the practice work, and that is combined with teaching and practice too. For me, for myself, it's not teaching, it's to understand as the professional person, understand what it means architecture and what means design. That makes me to be suitable as this position as a teacher to work with the young generation. And so that is why I put, every time I give the talk, and I always think, what is architecture? So I think that my attitude to the architectural design is the design and dialogue with my object, with the people, and with the site, with whole city. And that is the second times I talked to in the America. And the last time is 10 years ago in New York and Columbia University. So I think this time made me really more thinking what is architecture further. And so here, everybody, whatever is freshmen and up-year students, we understand architecture. We almost understand. We know what is building and what is architecture. And even the people is not in our profession, is also understand, like the Professor Lee, also understand. We know house, we know what we need. Then, and so for the architecture, when we think about that, that is, everybody know, that is the Palladio building, that is the no architectural design. It's made by people itself, it's Chinese house. So the notion of architecture influence architecture design methodology. So we always think about that. During the 100 years, and the architecture from the past, the Renaissance, it's a beautiful building, and modern architecture, recently we deal with any form, any scale. And we also deal with any structure, a new structure, old structure, and different structures, and made the form can be done with a different. And also somebody create create some words if you have the history and theory. And architecture only can be a singular system. Symbolic system can be anything. And also architecture form can do something different. And different, to be a different is linked with something to be creative. Is that true? And if we go back for the architecture design, then we thought architecture in China, in our culture, if we really think of about that, is architecture is the utensil, and it's something for use. And what happened for the architects is the first things we need. Then we have to do how to do it. The third one, then we find the site to build it. So what is the site for today? In the old time, the site is natural. And the city was very, very small. Whatever we find, these empty signs. So we deal with the emptiness. So architecture is the object put in the plan. And now, that is Chinese. Shanghai is a big city. Now it's the picture of the Shanghai and also the picture of Nanjing and the picture of, for the everywhere in China. And that happens only several years and all lasted 10 years. So now Chinese architects facing probably is also in American and also in Europe facing this the challenge with all the global challenge is about the urban, about the environment. That is the site is changing. How we can have the old thinking and continuous thinking. Architecture is only an object, and we create object from outside and inside. And if we follow this logical, and the site is changing, so we don't think we need the new knowledge, and we are in the age of the urbanization. So the architecture is no longer memory is the art or it's a construction or art. So we think about art or construction or arts. But it's living environment for the people. So building can be no longer himself. So it's tied together and bonded together with its context. So in this sense, high building come together and influence the environment. So it make the environment, the microenvironment is different. So for all those changes and environment changes, so we have to think about something different, and for this one and Chinese architecture, in traditional architecture, we always think about one building and together with the environment. So we come back as architecture, Chinese architecture, we come back with our tradition. And it's not means we have to build something in the formally as a traditional, the traditional roof and traditional signs and traditional form. And we have to think about the traditional way, how to make the natural and building together. And this, everything cannot go back now. And what is new? So we think about the new attitude first, and to calm down our societal the ambitions, and to learn what is the new knowledge for the architecture design. And first, we think about what, so the dialogue, I would like to say dialogue. I talk to my project, talk to the site, talk to what we should talk. From talking, discussion, and I learn from learning, learning by doing. And what we talk, I think the four aspect is very important. First is the history. The second is the urban. The third is the climate. The fourth is a new technique. For instance, computer. It's a digital. And the first example, just give example to show how we talk. It's not only me talk with the problems for talk with those kind of aspects. And today these four works will be showing in this lecture. And the first two is I did by myself. And the last two ones, I would like to show some work has been done from our colleague, young generation. So that means I would like to show a group of students, the teacher or young architects, and and I'm not young, I'm old, and we have a young faculty, and we work together as groups. So we as a group of people and talking with the problems and to do something in the same direction. And the first example is it's museum, garden museum. It's, I don't know if somebody come to the Suzhou city. It's a nearby. It's 200 kilometers away from Nanjing and 100 kilometers away from Shanghai. It's a very nice city, Suzhou, and this city was famous. Is famous about the garden, and this is a. I'm sorry for this. This is a garden and for the Zhuozhenyuan, and this in that part and this old house, and Zhuozhenyuan. This part is the Zhuozhenyuan for living part. That is the garden part, and so usually Chinese garden is a private garden. So living part and the garden comes together. Then, or in old time, they used the living part as an exhibition for how to for the people understand what means Suzhou garden and the private garden, Chinese garden. And now they want to use this as a rebuild as a living room itself. Then only have this site, build a museum to show what is garden. That is like the lesson, give everybody the lesson how it means Chinese garden. So that is garden museum. And and I took this site. It was a competition, so I won the competition. The first, I would like to show, and the reason why I win the competition is I do nothing. Actually, I do nothing with the form and rebuild the neighborhood as it is, and reuse the underneath. Reuse this space as an exhibition room, and so for this plan, this is old house, and I kept old house. I kept another old house as old one. This old, only this part and this little part was new part. So think about the city and kept the old texture and old urban form and the traditional way to have the structure with the traditional way, and that is the reason for me to win the competition. So there is a lot of the old building, old part, and only allows me to only build certain things, and this and also but the structure and the old structure and the new size is a new building is a steel structure and make the same type of the space. So Chinese space and the mixture with the modern space, it works well. And what I would like to introduce this part, how to use the old space, how to speak with the old space with the new content. The secondly, how to use how to build a new thing and directly talk to the old thing. And the third one is later. The third one, how to use the space in between. And this is the entrance of the old building, the museum. I kept the facade of the Wall Street and did not build the very big entrance, and with the original small entrance and come to the museum. That is introduction room. Introduction room has no space to do, so I built the introduction room in the courtyard. So that is, we respect the history, slightly put in the wooden floor in the within the courtyard and make the introduction room. And this is so I would like to show the key points to speak, the structure, construction, and image. How to represent the structure, how to the way implement the construction and the image. And this is the representing the structure. This is structure. Originally, I have to rebuild the renovation the old structure. And old structure, usually this is covered by a door. Since it is museum, the people go through has to go inside and outside. This doesn't work. So this originally is old two spaces. If we have built, we have to make the one space. And then we have to slightly speak to the history, how to use it. So all the structure has to be, in my mind, has to be represented. And this one is also old structure, and I put in China, war is a feeling afterwards. The structure is wooden structure is hanging on the is supporting the roof. So this one we open up have two meanings. One is show this wall. This wall is not bearing wall for the old structure, and this column is supporting the roof. If you making the hall, so this one is represent the structure of the old house. And also the second reason is like the contemporary modern space. You have to have a chance to go through to have another view of another space for you going to for you go next on. And this is old before we built the installation the museum, and this is afterwards. And this basically we make the floating wall and give this the people to give the audience to go to work and and everything is hanging on. This is floating. That is the old and new and can talk to each other. And this is another view. And for the courtyard, I did another one with the different pavement that is usually used in the outside. Give the glass box plug in this courtyard. So that when the people come to here, they know this is courtyard. Recognize if they want to recognize the space, recognize it is courtyard, and for in the history. But when they concentrate the exhibition, so you never been disturbed, so they can go through. And afterwards, when people is a specialist in the garden, he liked it. He said the garden, the museum for the garden should have a natural lighting. It's not always with artificial lighting. He likes it, but I think that is also the part of my design thinking. And this is another view, courtyard. And for this one, and this is some detail. For the architects, if you want to represent your idea, it has to come to the detail. That is everything. This is the courtyard, and everything has come together. Is the platform. Now, carefully carry on this courtyard and carefully linked together. So you can, if you really, for the architects, if you really indicate the people, you come to one space, another space, and cross this space to another space. So in this process, you can speak you can feel the history, old house, how it could be, how you can recognize it in one way, another way you can enjoy the garden. So that is also the detail to, if you want, as architects, if you build something, you have to build it from the beginning and have this idea to the end. And for the detail, anything addition is floating. So it's one kind of respecting for the old structure. And how to do with those kind of things is construction. For the construction, is old way. Construction is this kind of, for instance, is these windows. Windows, this we call transparency window. Transparency window for the garden is a special elements. That it means it's division for moving, but they not division about the space, but not division about the view. That is a good aspects for the Chinese traditional garden. And for this one, and how to build these elements in the new building, in the new museum. So I thought there are two aspects. One is inside, one is outside. So this one should be respect as the elements around our in the traditional elements which done by in the past. Where I respect this technique, and we did not renovate any techniques. Usually, the people would like to play with this with a type. But I think that for this one, if I speak I speak to the first, we respect. We just do it in the past, the way exactly the past, the way how to construct it. But we use the metal as a frame. That means that is something inside. For instance, if you have the stone, if you have another one is beautiful plate to put a stone in it. So which one is respect inside? So it's all of a sudden you turn it around. So the new things and as a frame and old things in it. So immediately everybody thinks that is the only container. That is something important, even we don't know how important it is. So that is the basic idea. Speak to them and represent them. So that is everybody and look at it. It's the exhibition. So because this space, since this space is very small, so we have to use any corridor, any part of this museum to present all the elements which happened in our garden. So that is when people go through, they always touch what's for. Then for that reason, and they read the old type of the housing, old type of the transparent windows. And also in the street, we did it the same way. And the people, when architects talked to me, and they said, and when I can watch these windows, and we must be somebody designed, and must be museum in it, because everybody, the professional, understand that is designed for represent something. So that it should be the museum. They find this museum through these windows. So that and how to the construction. Another construction is about we have to use the glass. The glass sometimes, if you as architects, you have to understand glass in the shadow immediately become the mirror. So if you understand that the meaning or understand, so sometimes you need to put the glass doesn't say anything, and you put in the shadow part and immediately reflects this part of the corridor. Sometimes you go through the corridor, but you cannot see the corridor. A corridor is old pieces. And then you see this is mirror immediately. If you concentrate, you can see the inside. Inside is open space out. And sometimes you see the mirror part is a complete mirror this. So inside the exception, the stone, and the mixture with the outside. So both immediately created the image is the this stone is not in the modern space and come together with this image. So that is not by chance. It's created. I tested several times, and sometimes it's come together. So modern pieces come always together with it. Whatever our students try to take a different picture, always this stone in that picture. So always come together. So that means architects use the form and material can create something which needn't play the form. They're very solid, very simple, and can reach the meaning. And this one also, and it's the same meaning. And this is courtyard, and this pieces is the door, of course. But also for the exhibition, these old pieces. And for that reason, we create the frame to make it importance. That is not. And another thing is to create is this is some space for these are sort the furniture. So how to make the furniture is also within the same space and outside and inside. So that is this is the wall is original the wall of the garden. So I painted this wall white and give the only 2 meters distance with this new building. And so the people said, first of all, people think it's too tightly together, but we don't have space. So all of a sudden we thought this wall is a really good the background for present something, anything. So we make the windows, make the big glass, and don't show the building. So all of a sudden, this building is disappear. So every pieces and in front of the white wall and be represented well. And another one is come to another one is in between. So we have the old pieces and we have new pieces, and then we have something in between. That is a really crucial point, and people go through this museum have to pass this part. And I showed this originally is a courtyard, such big, but usually after introduction, the client said we need the reception discussion room. Discussion rooms should be very comfortable, close to the introduction, but we could not find space. Then originally is the courtyard. So they said we should build something within the courtyard, but they occupied all the space. How to do it? And this is the corridor in between. But and the clients said we in the Chinese garden we have different elements. Then you should all the elements, but you don't shoot plants. So with those 2 problems. The requirements, and so I go. I think that is really important for those kind of image. So I think how to do it with this corridor. I think that I go along this corridor. So for this corridor, the open up this this courtyard, and I put in the glasses. So for this corridor. And we built a lot of the glasses plug in this corridor. And then all of a sudden the things changed. This is outside, this is inside. But for the exhibition, this is outside, this is within the glass, that is inside. So that is in and out. So with this outside, this directly get the sun and get the rain. It's alive. And it's not like the other garden, museum, and the garden is put in the plants within the building. Then you have to keep them alive. And for this one, I thought this is just outside. And outside with the glass, all of a sudden, glass outside is inside for the object. And the people is inside, and with ventilation but it's outside of the except its object. So that is some in and out with this concept, and we built several corridors and they are all plans and some objects and which clients wants. So that is also for the architects, I understand. I learn from a lot of things which happened in the Suzhou garden. And I went to the garden several times to see how, in the very tiny space, how do people use it. So that is I learned from the dialect with the history. And this is another one. And come to the meeting room. For this meeting room, this occupied, inside, you occupied the garden. And then occupied the courtyard. So you can feel, even inside, you can feel you occupied the old pieces. Then I use the glasses, the mirror glasses put here. So that means it have two meaning. First, you mirror the old pieces, and you can see it. And also you enlarge the space, and how many you occupied, how many you give back from the view. So all of a sudden, and clients, originally clients think, why in the old historic area you use the big glass? That is very dangerous. Afterwards, clients like it because they told me, you give them our image back. So that is that is the view. The one thing, the second is the design with the urbanism. And this another part of it's a small the town, which called Nanjing, and for this the clients tell me they will rebuild the theater, the museum, the theater within the old one. And this is the movie house in the old time, and also auditorium for the small town, and built in the 1970 and 1960, and it's really old, and they have to think how to tear it down or they keep it. So with this facade, they think they would like to keep it because this sign is a typical moment of the 1960s. So they have a certain meaning. So but the facilities is very poor, and even no toilet for this old theater. The people have to find the toilet somewhere else. It's a very simple facility. So for this, I have this task. Have to think about what means urban context if I make some addition, and what is the elements I should keep, because all old. If I could keep everything, so I could not do. I do nothing. So I thought this auditorium, I think, is a really good piece of work. I did the same thing. I put a new one within the old one. It's exactly the same thing. I like this museum. Then, what kind of material we should use if match the old one? So that is the whole urban structure. That is the old pieces, and this auditorium, and this the stage part, and this is the office, and some for the room for the movie, and for this one, and if you read the structure of the urban, so if you want to edit something, hasn't to edit the volume of the pieces. Because every volume is quite small, and every street is useful. So I have to edit one facility, but need this street still open. So make from the top, you still read this fixed, the new one fixed to old one, the same size. And we would like to change the morphology of the small town. So this cannot, still can go through, but with the roof. and the new piece and old pieces. And the elements. The elements we think about, we took the events, urban events is which elements were linked with the urban memory, so we kept it. So this is old parts, so the roof and the trusses and gray brick and this facade. This facade, we have some Western column and have this sign that is an important sign for our culture, and also this was called People's Hall. And so our group will read this structure and make a measurement and structure testing, and finally, we found this one. The structure is very weak, so we carefully bounded it and make some additional structure for this to capture this old wall and make it stable. In the end, so and also for these windows was completely closed. And they have another one for the ventilation. And for this one, we divided the windows connected with the structure. So connected with the new structure. So that is the. Then for the windows. The windows, and we use it with the wood structure. And the window and the wood structure and the features the old one. But was designed by the can open with the sliding. Yeah, because the people have to go, and you cannot directly open to the outside, and also cannot directly open the inside. I'm sorry. So it's when the people have the performance, you can close the window, then you can open the window, but measured exactly the same as the wall, the wall thickness, and divided the window pieces. And for that is the roof. And the facade. For the facade, how to capture the facade? We build another the glass, and for protecting them. The meaning is protecting. So that is. That is the old pieces we're protecting, but I was unhappy with. I don't know what's happened. I was unhappy with so heavy structure. We designed with very thin pieces, and that is already can works out. But when in that time, the structural engineering wants to change. And they think this couldn't. They like this very thick one. They said that could be stable. Glass is very heavy. But in that moment, I was in a conference in Europe. So the assistant of mine and said, okay, because he did not have a strong voice to discuss with them. So he gave up. Then when I come back, I get very angry, and I speak to, but I should really speak, I should learn from the structural engineering, so what really happened. Then after negotiation, said, yes, you are right, it could be a little bit of thing, but it's already done. So the client said, next time, you do it. So that is mistake. And then come to the third one is a material. So what we should keep the material is what we should choose and for the inside of the auditorium. The old pieces is the clay and the brick. It's clear. So the inside has to be something new. It's different. I think exactly the idea of this auditorium. And also I would like it looks like the furniture. It's not like the room. It's like the big furniture put in it. That means the people easily see the old structure, and you understand. Easily understand. This one is come from the afterwards. That is the old one. Should be respect. This one slightly put in it. Like this building, and also I have the chance to look around this house, and this one also hanging up. That is as a furniture put in the old one. I think it is probably the same concept. Then it's a door, escaping door. And for this one, and I thought this is also this piece of design. You know, this building has to be furniture. And for the design, the door, if we make door, is a large part of the door, so the volume was destroyed. So I want to keep the volume, but for the escape door, the entrance, the hall calculation, we have the certain signs. So what I did is make every line have the door can go out. So totally, it's the same size. Totally is possible. It's a fits to the code, the building code. Then you can make it. So it's an artist piece of the. You can see it's functional and also a piece of artist work. And this whole auditorium, and it's a modern auditorium, and the people with the ventilation and everything, and the complete new thing put in all thing. Then come back to the whatever you do, come back to the city, to the urban, and you have the everything, and all of a sudden, and you disappear. And every moment, what you see goes through this small street, and you see you can feel the old. In front of you is old town. In here, both sides you have the brick wall. So I would like to speak to the old town and old structure, and myself, our building was at that moment disappearing. And that's kind of disappearing for even in the city, and we had the mural, and everything is disappearing, and you see the old pieces again to the town. And the third one, dialogue with the environment. From this piece I showed the young generation from our faculty, and they also did the very nice thing I would like to show. And the first, and probably some professors already know, and this is this building designed by the form was designed by to fit the climate. And this is Nanjing, and in the southeast coast, and also developed area compared to another part. And Nanjing is very hot, and hot in summer and cold in the winter. And these young architects think about the traditional three-way to doing that, and traditional method, and intermediate technology, and also modern technology. He's used three parts, and it's not important what kind of technique we use. It's not important we use the new technique. I think for the climate design, you should, cheap way. First, you think about the traditional way. If we can use the form, we change the form, we can save the energy. Secondly, we should use the very cheaper equipment, and we can solve the problem. Third, then we come to the very new way and the new technique, and expensive, but it's necessary for the energy saving. So those he think about the three steps. And first is traditional. They make the courtyard and make the space for the ventilation, and will make the form, give the sun shading, and glass and plant roof. And secondly, and in the media, and make with the sun shading, and also with the light, sunlight is light cuber. And third is modern technique with the solar panel, and also with the technique grass roof, ground heating, pumps, air condition, and so on. And so that is a whole building now is represent every way to saving the energy and to get the good results for the design as a whole. And this is the roof and the structure, and also for the space. He put in this auditorium. Auditorium always have such kind of space. So hanging on the roof, and immediately you get the space. So the space with the roof is, if you make sloping roof has to be does something, because you shouldn't waste the space. So everything we said the form start to dancing. Once you're dancing, you get more space. You have to use it in the proper way. So for the architects, and the form is the tool for to solve the problem. Form is not the tool for our play for the form. So that is that is basically the concept. It should go forever. And this is courtyard. And afterwards he make the calculation, and he settle some rule and make testing, and it works out. But it was true when in the summer, very hot summer, when I was there, and they have a lot of the space without cooling, but still very it's not hot. It's very comfortable. So because it go through the ventilation and shading. And so the architects tell me he did a 5-step. The first, dividing the space, and the second, to make the roof, and lift the roof, and also put in the courtyard. Put in courtyard. Courtyard is plugged in, and the third, and hanging up the roof, and lift the suspension. And also and make the roof, putting the facade inside, and automatically get shading. And then this the piece of the work, and this building win the several prizes and in China. So that is to tells the young generation also of our students, and how to think to play the form. I think architects have to play something. It's without design. The young generation likes, we would like to call it play. It's okay, but should play with certain purpose. And in our days, that is the important purpose is deal with the environment. We will deal with the urban and also climate. That is his work. And the last one is about the new technique. It's another people. It's also young people from our faculty. He did with the digital, so with the data creation, data create form. That is, I really like his work and enjoy him, and my personal liked. The use the data played form. Basically, everybody understands. If you graduate from the middle school and you know every data, every form put in the coordinate system is have the data. So every form have data, and the data can the same foundation with a different form. So the data, the system of the data is the core of is behind of your form. But you can control the form, and it's only control one. You control the data system, you control the several form. So I also, in my group, my personal students, master students and PhD students, I push them to understand the key of the key form, the form of the key. What is the key? So we only platform or we control the data. And we can speak with the data, and we can speak to another engineering, different engineering, and create something in the future. And for this one, and he take the chance to he get the work. You know, he was the exchange PhD students in the DEFT, and. Then he liked the digital studio in the DEFT, and he learned something with the new design methodology. So then after he come back to China, he got the new chance to build exhibition hall, and this company liked the creation and like to have a different creation and different testing. So he's lucky to have a chance to test and in a different way of the design and construction. So the meaning is they also want to test how to construction in a different way. So digitalizing the construction. So this is also in the Dongguan, is in the south of the China. And first, he also did three different, it's form and geometry, math, and form. That's the key for his start creation, start to design. Then the form with the data and speak to the structure. And afterwards, structure through the data speak to construction. So he complete the whole process and as a testing. I think this is another kind of the dialogue for which architects have to learn and in the future and speak. That is a dialogue with the history, of course, respect. Dialogue with the urban, of course, you have to. And dialogue with the climate, you have to learn. And this one, you also have to learn in the future. So we as a dean of all the old generation of these architects, and we push the young people and don't follow us experience. They have the new future and something new. Is something new is from the idea is different and the methodology should be also different. So that first. He used a very simple way I don't go to the detail about the mathematics, and he with the single pieces and connect with and design with the where's the opening, where's the piece cover, and where's the sun lighting and how to make it connecting together. Then his work is this kind of data and form data and the structure. That means he speaks to the structure company. That is saving a lot of the money. The story behind it is first he wants to make this building and speak to his clients. Clients just want to try something new, but it's not that new in the beginning. So all of a sudden clients said, it must be very expensive. Then this young man is really clever. He said, look, and expensive is in the beginning or expensive in the total building. The clients said, if you can control the control the price in the end, total price, you can go. So the money is here. The amount of the money is here. You cannot rising. It gives to you. I gives to gives to you, and you do it. So that means he has to speak very carefully with the structural engineering. So that is very good dialogue I followed. Every time he speak to the structural engineering, it's very good because that is glass sometimes. And also the price dependent how many steel you use. And if you make this, you want to have the less the steel, and you have to make the big hole. And but you want to make a big hole, the steel has to be thicker. So that means calculated the price. So that one is exactly fits that price. So that is the hole cannot be bigger because you instead of you use the thick the steel. So that is proper thick and proper hole. So that is if without this kind of calculation in the software, everything cannot be done. So through their discussion and our as our generation, we also learn a lot. Then to come to the construction. The construction is also another problem. So the machine has to, everything is not in the one piece. And so if you do cheap one, and that one has to be very simple and to cut. But the joint is not in one line. So and you have every joint. If one joint is not precise, and all the pieces have to turn off. So the construction, the digital construction machine have to recognize all the pieces and make the joints precisely. Then afterwards, quickly and put together and finish this building. And that is all the data behind this project. And this young man really enjoy these data, and we learn from this data is big potential to translate from the seemingly far from architects and become very close to our design life. And so that is he shows, give me the material to show one step to another step with this data behind it. Every time he did not touch these drawings, he just changed this data and this immediately changing and talking with structural engineering because put another software to calculation and also construction. So there's also some data for the construction and translation, and this is basically Digimodel. And that is the exhibition hall. Now it's already have the first exhibition, and conference was already happened in last summer. This also he also added something for the environment. Now the clients is liked very much, and this company is a really big company. Probably you know Vancouver, and it's a real estate company. And now they start to thinking about in the different city they would like to have exhibition hall, and they also have to contribute for the city something. Now they start, if we do that, probably with announcement for the company, instead of make the I forgot that words, and then they would like to make the good building and to show this this vision, their capability, and this must much better for the others. And that is also thanks. That's the last picture.
Would you take questions?
Yes.
Are there any questions?
You spoke of the last project as the work of the younger generation, by which you implied that you weren't going to do work like that yourself.
For me?
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of curious, why not?
Yes, I would like to do.
Okay.
And for the urban project, I think if for the age, I'm really quite old. But I never old for learning. Yeah, for my personally, I never for learning. And also for the everybody should go this direction, because architecture design for the world, everything is beginning. Every project is the beginning. So I thought did some research work and deal with the urban and also deal with the problem of climate. So for those kind of things, probably I really have to deal with the digital and the data and this kind of the affair. So my master students and PhD students, we're talking something detailly, and outside probably don't understand. So, but I really think architects, if we want the good future and also catch up with the development of the society, also catch up with another fair of the technique. So we should learn and should speak to the others, should open our world.
Thank you very much for a very inspiring presentation, and I'm especially struck by the idea that you have about the architects, use forms to solve problems. I think that's very interesting. Now, it triggered a thought, just a thought for maybe for discussions here is, so architects use forms to solve problems. Maybe civil engineers use structure to solve problems. Mechanical engineers, maybe we look at flows of heat, air, moisture, pollutant to solve problems. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to look at the form, structure, and flow together, and which means engineers work with architects. And I think in your presentation you also suggested data, mathematics. I think this is very exciting field for collaborative research. So would you like to comment on that?
Thank you. And I would like to say something. I have this one. Yeah, sorry.
That was fine.
I think I'm not only architects, and also because since here is the school, I know the architecture students don't like the mathematics. Yeah, really, because we think we are artists. Yes, we are artists. I think the design. I like design, and I like the artist work because we never think. We will never go back to the past. We wanted creation. That is the energy, and everybody should keep. But how to create? That is the question. You use the mind and dream, and you rely on the dream. I think it cannot be. You rely on the piece of the artist work, because artists can manage the form much better than us. And so we thought we should learn something, and we should learn the new technique. If you go back in the past, and in the old stage, an artist with the building Alberti, he said the building is piece of the artwork, never think about the structure and never think about the tectonic way to build a building. The building have to be done with column and with the how to order with all the column, everything, and that looks like his famous looks like it's okay. And the second step, we believe the structure have to do something. We function, and actually during our process, we learn the function. We learn the function is important, structure is important, materials important, and we open a lot of the lectures and holding this new technique. Now it's also the age, and for people thinking another step. If we were another famous words to talking about, if you want to know what happened 100 years ago later, and you have to look back the 100 years past, then in the 19 just between the 19th century and the 20th century, and it's also big discussion about the form, about the new knowledge, about the methodology, method about design. I think that it is the time to think about have the new thinking about what is really the import for the knowledge of for the architects in the body, in the mind. So for that reason, I really recommended to look at our surrounding, the engineering, computer, everything, and follow up the world development, this consequence, and we think about we should learn. We shouldn't stable in our field and look at others go forward, and so we open up the mathematics. And in our department, mathematics and logical and mathematics and literature, this kind of course have very heavy. And in order the students come to the up here, if they want to work with the data, they can be done everything.
Tech knowledge is a source of creativity, not a technical burden.
But design is still important.
I might add that architects use form to create problems, not to solve problems. Would be another way to read that.
If you know this one, you can make the design. You can start design. But if you know nothing, you have to listen to the structural engineering, you have to listen to material, and you have to listen to the mechanical engineering. Then afterwards you do nothing. So if you understand structure, you understand mechanical, how they doing. You really like some people, and you can come all those things together and create a new thing with the new social demandings.
Are there additional questions? In lieu of additional questions, let's thank Dean Ding for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great.